Hey, so I was reading an article about whistleblowing, and I came across an individual. Dude's name is uh, Boys Joy, Bois. It's an unusual name, um, and the article really made me think. Let's get into this. Let's chew it up. He was an engineer for I think Thoracall or something like that, and he tried to tell them about the dangers of what they were doing as far as the O-rings. The O-rings could freeze, and then you could have a catastrophic, explosion or whatever when that oxygen meets with the flames and stuff. And no one wanted to listen to him. And we all know what happened. It was 1979, the Columbia disaster. And, they didn't really want to talk about it. They wanted to kind of downplay him coming out and talking about it. And they pretty much blackballed him. They blackballed him from the industry. And I think they didn't want to even examine what he was talking about. And he ended up stepping out and talking. And he said they looked at him with so much rage that he said if they had guns, they would have shot him on the spot. He felt like that. And he said that NASA blackballed him, his company blackballed him, and he ended up doing his own thing. Thankfully, he was able to go do his own. And I thought about the security guard that caught the burglars during Watergate. And I thought about Daniel Ellsberg in the Pentagon Papers. And I thought about Snowden in WikiLeaks, with Julian Assange, and all the people who have spoken up and have spoken the truth about corruption. And I thought about the great brother of our times, Kaepernick. How same thing. Trump tried to blackball him. And one thing that gets me going back to the Columbia disaster is that soon after that, not very long after that, you had Columbia in 2003 in my lifetime. Another catastrophic explosion. So NASA had learned nothing. They learned nothing from that. Those folks died in vain. It's like these mass shootings. When they have these mass shootings and 20 kids get killed, and they're like, well, yeah, but we're not going to pass any bills on gun control. We're not going to do any of that stuff. It's just like, this is why I say that you have to have whistleblowers. That to me, people like Daniel Ellsberg in the Pentagon Papers and the Afghan war documents, these are things that you need to preserve a democracy. Democracy isn't just about marching troops and tanks and missiles. A democracy is about people who act morally, live justly, and want to do the right things. It's the right thing to do. And that you need whistleblowers, especially in an unjust society as we have here. People should learn about this stuff in school. They should teach this stuff in school. There's nothing shameful about that. You know what I mean? And see, sorry about that. You look at Kaepernick and things like that, and you look at it from one perspective, and you don't look at it, with a clear perspective, then you don't understand that this is something that it's like every decade we need someone like that. We need someone that stands up and speaks out and tells the truth and is willing to follow in that truth. I realize as I get older that you should pray for that. You should. And you should realize that if you're living right, certain people are going to hate you, and they should hate you because what you're doing cuts into their profits, To me, those are the true heroes. There are no heroes in war. There's no heroes in war. There's people that survive war. There's no heroes in war. It's heroes to the soldiers and stuff like that, but there's no heroes for us. Not for the working man. You look at them Iraqis, I have way more in common with them than I do with anybody on the board of Raytheon or Halliburton. I have nothing in common with those people. The older I get, the more that's something I realize is that the folks we're at war with, I have more in common with them, people overseas and things like that, than I have with some fascist waving the Trump flag, talking about Jews want to take our jobs. When you're living in an unjust system and people are operating unjustly and people are operating through racism and homophobia and sexism and just straight hate over logic and science and reason. You understand? Like you're really basing a society upon hate, and you're basing a society upon things that are really illogical, no logic to them. So I really feel like it's what it is. Peace out.